Hey guys, and welcome back to IO edition. So what's the tea?
We have a very special guest, ladies.
Our very special guest comes all the way from
Algeria.
Please welcome Alberto Camus.
Come on in.
Hi. Sit.
Oh.
My name's actually pronounced Albert Camus.
Okay, Camus first.
So, we used our magical powers to bring Mr. Camustifer back from the dead.
Yes, ma'am.
Today is his 132nd birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
It's not my birthday.
Okay.
Okay, actually, my birthday was on November 7th, 1913.
Wow! And you were born in Algeria?
I was.
So, tell us about your family life.
Yeah. My father died in World War I. So my mother, brother, and I moved to Algiers to be with our aunt. And my mother worked as a cleaning lady.
So sad.
Tragic. So, it says in my notes
It's grandma.
that you have a paralyzed uncle.
Yes. Yes, I did have a paralyzed uncle. It was very difficult to live with so many people in a 2-room apartment. But we got through it.
I'm so proud.
So talented you are. So, Camus, tell us about your school life and how you became to be a writer.
Well, in 1918, I entered primary school, and I was fortunate enough to be taught by such an outstanding teacher, Louis Germain. He helped me win a scholarship to the Algiers High School, which was really hard to get into. And me coming from such a poor background, it really boosted my drive.
Nice.
Cool.
So, tell me, tuberculosis, how does that, relate to you?
So, I played a lot of football, I swam, and I boxed in my youth, but I would keep getting attacks of tuberculosis, so I had to stop that passion and just focus on writing.
We've all been there.
Have
Yeah.
we?
Yeah.
You know, my
You've been
grandma,
there. What?
my grandma had tuberculosis.
Really?
Wait, no she didn't.
So after the attacks of tuberculosis, I had to quit my sporting career, and it interrupted my studies because the tuberculosis was taking over my life. I had to be home for 15 years, not able to pursue any sort of career, schooling. It was awful, just awful. So after those 15 years of living with my uncle, I decided to live on my own, support myself with various jobs. I worked as an editor for a local Algiers paper. I was an editor, a political reporter, and book reviewer.
Wow.
At this time, I registered as a philosophy student at the University of Algiers.
So tell us, Camustifer.
Stop calling me that. My name is Albert Camus. I would like to be called Camus. Mr. Camus, Albert Camus. I am a Nobel Peace Prizing author, and I came all the way here
From the dead.
from the dead
Okay.
to be on this dumb show.
Camustifer! So, Mr. Camus, your writing style in The Stranger is very existentialist. So, do you not value living?
He's dead.
Oh, right.
Can you spill some real tea, sis? Tell us about The Stranger.
The book I wrote, The Stranger, was published in 1942. Many people were very intrigued by the sort of odd manner of the main character, Marceau. The Stranger is about a man who is condemned to death for shooting an Arab for the fact that he was just hot that day. This character is identified as an existentialist. Do you know what that means?
Okay, that's the tea.
An existentialist is someone who believes that their life on Earth is just meaningless. And no one really understood this or talked about it back in when I published this book. Hold your applause.
He wants to touch you.
No, I identify too much with Marceau.
Don't hurt
I hate
him.
to admit it, but I really connect with him, making him from where I'm from, Algiers. And it's really has to do a lot with me, with my lack of religious views, and I refuse to conform to society's demands, and I want to be my own individual person. So I made the story interesting by making it about a murder and having it so people could connect with this not typical character.
Eva, are you as bored as I am?
Yes, ma'am.
You know
Cut
what?
to a commercial break. Yes?
Yeah.
The Stranger by Albert Camus. It's so good. You won't want to put it down. It'll make you think. It'll make you cry. It'll make you... Sorry.
Eva, what are you reading?
The Stranger!
Is it good? It's great.
The Stranger by Albert Camus. So, what do you have against Arabs?
I have nothing against Arabs, but where I'm from back in the day, there was a cultural divide. Right next to my high school was the native Muslim community. It gave me an early recognition to the idea of the stranger, and it would help influence my writing for the stranger.
So, Camus.
Was there anybody that you were particularly
Particularly
particularly? How do you say it?
influenced by. Was there anyone you were influenced by?
Well, at university, I was influenced by one of my teachers. His name was Jean Gronwy. He helped me develop a more open mind with literary and philosophical ideas. We got along outside of the philosophical and literary side. We both loved football, and we sort of became friends in a way.
Like Coach Steve and Jay.
What?
I know what you're talking about.
I don't. Oh.
So, I heard you were qualified enough to be a college teacher. Why didn't you go through with that?
Actually, university teacher.
Okay.
So I was on the path to become a university teacher, but it was cut short by another attack of tuberculosis.
You love her.
She strikes again.
On a happier note, I wrote, produced, adapted, and acted in theaters. I loved the theater. The theater was such a deep part of me, but my plays weren't as popular as my books. In an autobiography I published, The First Man, I described the mixture of pain and affection in my life, having to grow up in such an impoverished environment. The only things that would make me happy were going outside, like the sun, the seashore, mountains, sort of anything outside.
You are a Nobel Peace Prize recipient.
Following the publication of my short story, Exile in the Kingdom, I was shocked to find out that I would be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for Literacy in the fall of 1957. When I got the award, I was filled with so many mixed feelings of gratitude, humility, and amazement. It made me feel like my career was over, that this was the peak, that there was nowhere else for me to go.
Whoa. That was so... Whoa. That was such an emotional roller coaster. Thank you so much, Sister Camus, for joining us.
And thank you for finally getting my last name correct.
Do you have anything else to add?
Remember, kids, follow your dreams and your passions, and it'll lead you to success.
But if you don't succeed, remember, kids, just like Merceau says.
Life
Wait,
sucks.
but he does. But if you don't succeed, just like Merceau, who cares? Life has no meaning.
Wow, you actually read my novel?
Yeah, I was forced to. Thanks for tuning into Tea of the Week.
And that's the thesis.
Mwah.